Hi, Manzil. Thank you so much for being part of Conversations at Jazz with Aisha Sarwari. I am heading the communications and the sustainability department at Jazz. So, Manzil, you are one of the leading entrepreneurs that we have at the National Incubation Center. We're very proud of the business that you've started, and I'll ask you to give me a quick overview of it. So, when somebody asks, what are you the CEO of? What do you do?
I am the founder of Oxbridge Innovative Solutions. We sort of work towards making the teaching and learning of maths and science fun and interesting by integrating STEM or STEAM philosophy into mainstream curriculum. So what we do is that we partner with schools and we tell them that whatever you're teaching in your science and maths and technology classrooms, we will add value to it by giving you some hands-on materials.
What is experiential learning? And what is STEAM versus STEM?
Yeah. So experiential learning is something that you do by hands. See, in your past as well, when you were learning, the things that you learned by doing, they were the things that you never forgot or they remained with you for a very long time. STEM is an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And STEAM is an extension of STEM. It brings in the creative arts into it, hence STEAM. So by the introduction of arts, it has been learned through research, there's evidence that children, particularly girls who are not very fond of maths and technology subjects, they tend to develop an interest by the inclusion of arts. And then when they develop this interest, they actually tend to adopt this as a career in their future.
Numbers बताएंगे कि कितनी लड़कियां हैं जो STEM और engineering fields में नहीं जाती?
12% of them, they actually embrace these as their career.
Do you think हमें बचपन से बताया जाता है कि we're not good at math, we're not good at science, we're not good at engineering?
In my experience, ये तो कभी नहीं बताया गया कि you're not good at this thing, but जो general जो atmosphere होती है about girls' career, that is, there are only a handful of careers that are good for a girl. For instance, डॉक्टर बन जाओ या इंजीनियरिंग में ये चीज कर लो या सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग कर लो, कंप्यूटर साइंस डेस्क बेस्ड जॉब कर लो. Don't go into a field that takes you out of the house or the office space a lot. So this is something that I've experienced while growing up.
Like, do you feel that sometimes women themselves internalize it even when they're good at their field?
Yes, this happens, and men actually pretend to be better than women, although they know that they're not. कुछ instances में, but they do pretend, and this is the culture speaking, the cultural freedom that has been given to them. It speaks out in the career as well.
Those challenges are there, but do you find it in the new generation? So the children that you're working with.
So this issue is not really that pronounced as such अभी तक, लेकिन when I deal with the youngsters that I've hired and the youngsters that I talk to in different programs, then yes, this is very much there. Yeah.
If you were to convince a parent that the ability for a child to know life skills, to do chores, to be respectful, to have values is more important than a college degree, particularly from an Ivy League, which a lot of parents really struggle hard to get their kids.
Well, I usually tell them that if your child doesn't know how to apply the knowledge that he has crammed through books, what is the point of learning that? Child needs to understand the concepts as well as be able to apply those concepts in the real life. So there's always going to be a connection between the problem and what you've learned. So if there's no application, there's no point in learning. And the other thing is that our school system or our university system, it assesses to the tests. So whenever they assess like that, everyone has to run after marks or grades. So when you do that, you resort to rote learning. And rote learning is not something that you should be proud of.
When we say success, we want the student to be able to survive in the real world.
There was a phrase used at our times that it was called Jack of all trades and master of none. And it was very, it was not looked very appreciatively. And nowadays, you need to be a Jack of all trades, because if you're not, then survival is difficult.
What are some of the biggest praises you've gotten? And what are the sort of one or two sort of disheartening things that people have said to you which are reflective of the challenge that you've had to face?
The most positive things that people have said is that the idea is really good. So when people understand that this is the kind of solution that we're giving, so they do appreciate us on that. Negative things were that Some people said कि ये आपने क्या टूटी मोटी चीजें दे दी हैं, and our child doesn't even like the stuff that you've given them. Is this a toy? हमने इतने पैसे खर्च किए हैं, and this is what we get. So I think there's a need to change the mindset as well of parents.
For example, somebody comes and scales your idea to all public schools in Pakistan. What improvement in assessment grades can you promise them in, say, about a year's time?
We've done pilot of our products before in various schools, and we've done it for the whole academic year. We've seen that there's a increase in attainment by 15 to 17% in one academic year, which is a really good increase in educational attainment.
Aapki life mein who are the teachers? Or a particular teacher who made you who you are today?
There were 2 or 3 of them. One was in grade 5. She was my classroom teacher. She was not just a good English teacher, but also a really good human being who instilled in us so many good qualities. All the classmates that I had at that time, she's very inspirational to me. Miss Pushpa, her name was. There was another teacher in grade 9 and 10. She was a maths teacher. She was very influential in getting this all started with us. So she's a very inspirational teacher.
What's her name?
Her name was Miss Shaheen.
Have you ever done anything in Burn Hall, Ahmedabad with the product that you have?
Not yet, because we've only started with the products. So we just in the phase that we're testing it with the local population in Pindi, Islamabad. As soon as we get some, go ahead from these customer base, then we'll definitely go to Ahmedabad. So
before I let you go, Manzil, I want you to make a 20-second pitch to investors who will be seeing this. What does Manzil Maqsood want, and as you beautifully put it, for your children?
Well, I want my children to actually be able to learn the concepts as well as be able to apply those concepts in their real life. And if we do not provide them the necessary materials, the necessary resources to implement the concepts learned in the classrooms, they won't be able to contribute to the economy of this country at all. We will just have a lot of students who have graduated with flashy degrees, but not students who will actually make an impact to the society and make an impact to the economy. So I would want somebody to help me in getting access to the government schools, getting access to partner schools in which I could actually take these resources and help the students and the teachers over there use these resources in elevating their understanding of the concepts that are taught. And we're not going to change the curriculum. It is the same thing. We just want to help them understand the concepts better. And if somebody could actually help me out, that'd be the best thing that could happen to me this year.
So Manzil, good luck to you. And good luck to Oxbridge. That's the name of your company, correct?
Yes.
And thank you so much for being part of Conversations with Jazz.
Thank you. It was such a lovely conversation. Thank you so much, Aisha.
दुनिया को बता दो.